On the 7th of April 2023, the universe will be blessed by the unbeatable peak of visual storytelling in the form of Illumination's newest masterpiece, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, starring Chris Pratt. I would genuinely be pretty excited for this movie if it wasn't for the completely ridiculous voice casting. It's not that I dislike any of the actors themselves, it's so obvious that no one was chosen because they were deemed to be the perfect fit for the role. They were chosen purely because of their notoriety, so that they could have another famous name at the top of the poster. We need to go back to the days of casting calls, dude, because stuff like this really annoys me for some reason. Sorry, I just need to get this off my chest. This is probably my biggest pet peeve with Hollywood at the moment. Let's get to the video's main topic. Even though this movie has some not so ideal casting, there was a movie released 30 years prior which had some of the most perfect casting I have ever seen in any movie ever. That movie is, of course,
the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
The 1993 version. Obviously. I still remember the first time I ever heard about this movie. I was watching a video called Top 10 Scariest Mario Enemies, which came out 10 years ago. I want to cry. And the #1 ranking was this movie's depiction of the Goomba. I don't want to spoil what he looks like yet, since we'll get to that in a little bit, but let's just say, after the culture shock of discovering that not only did a Super Mario Bros. Movie actually exist, but that this is what the Goombas look like, I could tell that this was the sort of movie that truly had to be seen to be believed. So without any further delay, let's now watch the real Super Mario Bros. Movie. The movie opens with a woman dropping her baby off at an orphanage. She frantically runs down into the sewer where she's greeted by a man who apparently has some beef to settle with Dwayne Johnson.
Where's the rock?
We then cut to daytime in Brooklyn, where we meet two plumbers played by Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo. The plumbers cross paths with a woman named Daisy, who decides to show the plumbers what she's been working on. It turns out she's an archaeologist who's been excavating for dinosaur bones.
The way the bones fit here, and the opposable thumb, it's almost as if he was a monster trying to be a human being.
But then, as the plumbers are attempting to fix a leaky pipe, Daisy ends up being kidnapped and taken through a wall.
No!
Luigi!
Daisy! No!
I got a feeling.
No, Luigi, forget it.
Gotta go with it.
Forget it, it's rock. Look down there. Luigi! Luigi! I don't believe this.
And it's now up to the plumbers to go and rescue her. The plumbers find themselves in the land of the Koopas, run by King Koopa himself, played by Dennis Hopper. He's excited to find out that Daisy's been brought back to his dimension, but is enraged to discover that she no longer has the precious rock that he's been after.
Rock, sir?
The meteorite piece that she wears around her neck, and I told you not to forget it! Without that piece, the meteorite lays dormant. Where is it?
The plumbers took it.
Plumbers.
Plumber alert. That's right, the Koopa Man is looking for a couple of plumbers. And there's a big coin reward, 2,000 gold Koopa coins. Guess he must have a serious plumbing problem.
The plumbers quickly get detained and arrested. They're brought into the police station, and it's here that we get to witness the single greatest moment in video game history, where we finally get to learn the plumbers' names.
Name?
Mario.
Last name?
Mario.
Okay, what's your name?
Luigi.
Luigi?
No, Luigi Mario.
Okay, look, how many Marios are there between the two of you?
There's three. There's Mario and Luigi Mario.
Yep, in this movie, the Mario Brothers' last name canonically becomes Mario. Before I saw this, I thought that was just something the community came up with. But nope, it was actually in an official Mario product. It does make a lot of sense when you think about it. They are called the Mario Brothers, not the Meatball Brothers or the Diaz Brothers. Why would they be called the Mario Brothers if Mario wasn't their shared family name? Apparently a lot of people hate this scene because they had the opportunity to come up with an original and creative last name for the brothers, but in my opinion, no other name they could have been given would be nearly as iconic as Luigi Mario and Mario Mario. So now that we've had the greatest scene in cinematic history, where do we go from here? Well, the brothers meet up with King Koopa, who shows what will happen to them if they step out of line. He demonstrates this on another prisoner by transforming them into a Goomba.
You try to get rid of him, but the king is everywhere. You can't get rid of him.
See you later, dum-dum.
Even our musical friend Toad can become a loyal child of the royal family. Goomba.
That's right, folks. That is a Goomba. Look, I'm all for artistic interpretations, but what could have possibly been going through their heads when they turned this into this? I hope they look like this in the new movie. The brothers attack the guards and manage to escape, and it's here that we get a slightly more recognisable cameo.
Hey, look at that. What is that?
After making it out of the prison, the brothers need to go on a trek through the desert to retrieve the stone that was stolen from them earlier. It was stolen by a woman named Big Bertha, and it's up to Mario to seduce her into giving it back.
The name's Mario. I'm your main man. You Ramadan, you can of Spain.
After an uncomfortably long dance sequence, they eventually get the necklace back, only to immediately lose it again. After being chased around by the quote-unquote Goombas, they eventually stumble across rocket shoes that allow them to jump really, really high. You know, the thing the Mario brothers are most well known for. Something I haven't really mentioned yet is the fact that this movie loves to amp up the plumbing part of the Mario brothers' identity. Probably the least important thing about them in the video games. You constantly see them using plungers, wrenches, and driving around in a plumbing van, but there's very little fire throwing, jumping, or even their iconic overalls. They could have at least been wearing that from the start, since that's pretty much as close as they get to resembling plumbers in the video games. But oh well, I guess it could be worse. They could be being played by Chris Prick. Anyway, the brothers eventually make it to Koopa's tower, where we finally get to see the Super Mario Brothers in their epic attire. And I don't know why, but for some reason it just immediately made me more invested in what was happening. Goes to show you how far being loyal to the source material can get you, if that's what you can call what's happening here. They eventually meet up with Daisy, who lets them know that a bunch of other women from Brooklyn were also being held hostage in the tower. Mario finds them and helps them to escape by having them slide through the air vents on a mattress, and this ends up leading to the second scariest scene in the entire movie.
I woke up in a new Bugatti.
If anything, I wish this movie had been more successful, just so this could have been a ride at Universal Studios. Maybe the new Mario theme park in Japan can finally make it a reality. Probably not though. We now get to the final showdown. Mario shows King Koopa his secret weapon.
He's got a papa!
At first it looks like the secret weapon has failed.
Messed up again, mammal.
But bob-omb is a sneaky little bugger and he knows exactly where he needs to go. And I guess a completely different movie is happening at the same time because Mario and Koopa suddenly get Thanos.
We're merging!
Nah, just kidding. They just get transported back to the human dimension, where we get treated to yet another iconic scene in cinematic history.
Give me that Devo gun!
Again? What is this?
Monkey!
The guy doesn't get changed back, by the way. He's just been permanently returned to Monkey. To be fair, he does deserve it. Dude just casually insinuates in a public crowd that he's gonna kidnap Daisy.
A lot of girls have been going missing in Brooklyn lately. I'd be careful.
Now that's my candidate. So remember when I said that this was the second scariest scene in the movie? Well, we've now arrived at the #1 scariest scene. So the brothers have saved the day, everyone celebrates, and the boys finally get to go home. But they leave Daisy behind so that she can figure out where she truly belongs.
It's open. Come on, Luigi. Come on.
At first it seems like they'll never see Daisy ever again, until...
Luigi, Mario!
Daisy!
You gotta come with me, I need your help.
What's wrong?
You're never gonna believe this.
I believe it.
You do?
I believe.
And yeah, that's where the movie ends. On a cliffhanger that wouldn't be resolved until 30 years later. Little did we know they had to go to war. The Minion Nation had attacked. And that's the movie. I think it's fair to say bob-omb was the best character. He was pretty much the only one who stayed loyal to his video game counterpart. Jokes aside, this is obviously not a very good movie, but it is certainly a very fun movie. I think it definitely deserves its cult classic status, whether that's for better or for worse. I think it'd be fun to make this into a series where we look at some infamously bad films. So if you enjoyed this and want to see that, then let me know in the comments. I'm your local Waluigi stan monobrow man, and hopefully I can get this video out before April 7th. Oh god.
Super Mario in real life.